Well, hello, good morning everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I've got an interesting video for you today. We're going to talk about another offering from Wuben. This is a headlamp. This happens to be model H5. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Wuben reached out and asked me if I would review this. So I said for sure. Now the current price point at the time of me filming this video for this headlamp is under $35. And that price includes a lithium ion battery that you'll see here in this video. So the first thing that you're seeing here is the head strap. Looks like it's pretty good. It would have been nice if it was a little bit taller, maybe 1 inch. I think this is about 3/4 of an inch. But it looks like it's going to function just fine for this headlamp. So the next thing we see is a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. So very nice. Then you see a little package here, and in this package you have a lanyard and 2 replacement O-rings. So you got 1 O-ring right there, 1 right there, and then you also have a lanyard. So very nice that they include this with the light. So we have the light itself, which we'll talk about here in just a quick second. Now there's nothing left in the package. So there's no owner's manual or anything like that included in this package that they sent me. So as you can see, that box is empty. So here is a first look at the light, and as you'll notice, this light has dual access. So I can go up, I can go down, and I can also rotate the light 180 degrees. So it's very cool. It gives me potential for just about any orientation that I want. Now you'll see, if you look real close, you'll see right there my finger, there's this little tab right here. What happens is when you push this tab back towards the tail end of the light, it unlocks this, okay? So you see that? It locks into place, but then if I come back, it unlocks this. This allows me to insert the light onto the head strap. So it's very interesting how they did this. And it just bites down, the head strap bites right there, and it just locks that into place. So very interesting. If you don't want to use it as a headlamp, you can use it as a flashlight itself. So you just pull this tail cap off, and then you'll remove that in its entirety. And speaking of tail cap, let's go ahead and take a look at the build quality. So as you can see right there, the build quality of the tail cap is very nice. Now this light does come with a battery, and you got to take that blue insulation film out first, otherwise the light won't work. Now here we're looking at a 14500 lithium ion rechargeable battery operating at 920 milliamp hour, 3.7 volts. And on the side of the battery right there, you can see a charge port. Okay, so you can plug in USB-C and charge this battery. When you plug it in, you'll get a red illumination up here on the top that tells you that the battery is charging. And then when charging is complete, that indicator will turn green. So here I have a USB-C. See, you can see it turns red. And then again, like I said, it'll turn green when charging is complete. Now there's a look inside the battery tube, and you can see the thickness of the battery tube is nice and thick. There is an O-ring right there. And when you thread the tail cap on top of the battery tube, you'll smash that O-ring and it gives you an IPX8 waterproof rating. Now on the side of the light is the power button. That's the mode button. It switches through the modes and things like that. This is a very simple flashlight to operate. It has 5 different output selections. So you have moonlight mode, you've got low, you've got medium, you've got high, and you have the 5th mode of SOS. Now this light does have a memory, so whichever mode that you were on, with the exception of SOS, it will come back to. So moonlight, low, medium, or high, it'll remember those settings. Now this light is impact resistant down to 1.5 meter, and it's IPX8 waterproof. So the total run time that you can get out of this light on moonlight mode is 120 hours. So that's 5 days of runtime. Fantastic runtime out of there. Now you're taking a look right now at the lens. Inside of that lens, there's an OS-RAM P9 LED that produces a maximum output of 400 lumens. That's if you're using the 14500 battery. If you're going to be using the AA standard battery, you'll get 250 lumens out of the light here. So there is a side switch here, and that side switch will double as a battery level indicator. So you'll see a series of colors. You'll see it'll illuminate for 5 seconds. You'll see blue, and if you see solid blue, it's telling you that you're between 90 and 100% of your battery. And then it'll change, it'll start flashing blue. When you see that, you're between 40 and 90% of the battery capacity left. Then you'll see red, solid red, 15 to 40% of your battery life. Now those 3 indicators, the blue, the flashing blue, and the red, will illuminate for 5 seconds. If you see flashing red, it's telling you that your battery life is below 15%. Now I've already charged this battery off camera before shooting this video, so let's go ahead and insert this 14500 battery into this light, and we'll take a look and I'll show you how easy this light is to operate. It's very simple. You can also see, like I mentioned earlier, that the tail cap is magnetic, and it's a very strong magnet. They did a really good job on that magnet, that tail cap magnet. Operating the light is extremely simple. If you want to get to the lowest mode possible, you'll just long press the button here. You'll see the moonlight mode, and since we're using a 14500 battery, you see that blue indicator I was talking about? That gives us, that'll illuminate for 5 seconds. So that's moonlight mode, that's 1 lumen. That'll last 120 hours or 5 days. If we push and hold, we'll bump up to the next setting. This is low. This is 50 lumens, and that'll last 7 hours. Push and hold a little more, we'll bump up to medium. This is 150 lumens. Very good setting here for 3 hours of runtime. We have one more setting. This is high. This is the full 400 lumens. And I'm impressed by this next number here. It'll last for 10 minutes before it steps down. So 10 minutes, and then to prevent the overheating of the LED, it'll step down to 250 lumens, and it will stay there for another 1.5 hours of runtime. Now if I double press this side switch, we'll get an SOS function. This is going to put out 150 lumens, and I'm not sure how long that runtime is. I'm guessing it's probably 3 or 4 hours, something like that. Now, when you have this light on the highest setting of high, which we're looking at right now, you get 73 meters of throw, and you get a total of 1,338 candela. So it's fantastic. Long press brings you back to moonlight mode, and again, cycling through the modes is extremely simple. You just push to turn it on. Once the light's on, you push and hold, and you'll cycle through the modes. Moonlight, low, medium, high. Moonlight, low, medium, high. Moonlight. So it's very, very easy to use this light. Now I want to talk about the AA battery now. So I'll go ahead and take out this 14500 for a second. 14500s operate at 3.7 volts, where these AA's, they operate at 1.5 volts. But the cool thing about this light is, with the exception of high, you get the same brightness levels. So moonlight mode, let's take a look. Moonlight mode is the same brightness level. You have 1 lumen, but the runtime changes because you're using a AA battery. So we get 80 hours of runtime using a AA battery. That's 3.33 days. Push and hold, we're going to go up to low, 50 lumens for 6 hours. Now remember, with the 14500, we got 7 hours on this setting. And then we go to medium, 150 lumens for 3 hours. That's the exact same runtime that we were getting out of the 14500. Now if I push and hold one more time, you'll see it bumped up to high, 250 lumens for 1.5 hours. Now remember, high on the 14500 was 400 lumens for 10 minutes, then it dropped down to 250 for 1.5 hours. So on the AA, we're just not reaching that 400 for 10 minutes. We're just going straight to the 250 for 1.5 hours. Now we do have the SOS. It's the same. We're going to double press quickly. 1, 2. We're going to go to SOS of 150 lumens. Again, it's an unspecified time. I don't know how long it will last on SOS, but it's just fantastic. Now there's one thing that I want to show you real quick, and that is, if you take a battery that has a little bit of draw on it, like it's not a fully charged or brand new battery, you will lose high. So when you turn this on, let's go to moonlight. Moonlight's fine, we have blue, so it might make a liar out of me here. Push and hold. Moonlight, low, medium. Moonlight, low, medium. Moonlight, low, medium. See that? So we're not getting the high out of this one. You see the red indicator telling us that our battery is between 15 and 40% because it's solid red. Double press still gets us the SOS function. So it's very, very interesting how this light performs. Now some of the specs of the light. The weight of the light without the battery is 43 grams. That's 1.51 ounces. If you want to include the battery, that is 63 grams or 2.23 ounces. Now the measurements of the light, the dimensions, 72 millimeters long, that's 3.43 inches, by 22.8 here on the body, 22.8 millimeters or 0.94 inches, and then 23.8 on the larger part, the head of the light, 23.8 millimeters or 1.18 inches. So there it is, mounted on my head, and it feels pretty good. It doesn't, I mean, it's very light. I don't feel like it's gonna fall off or anything like that. It's actually a lot more stable than I thought it would be. It actually feels pretty good. I did go on the double side there, so I got twice the thickness to really clamp that thing down, but it's feeling really good. I don't think I'm gonna have any problems with this light staying on my head. Can't even feel that it's there. It's very lightweight. Okay, let's take a look and test out that IPX8 waterproofness. Now, one thing I really like about this light is you don't have to worry if there's a charging flap in place or anything like that. You just drop this thing in the water. You don't have to worry about things like that. So let's push and hold, cycle through the modes. Everything works good. Let's double press for SOS. There we go. You can see the blue power level indicator. When I turn the light on there, see that blue indicator? So fantastic. And as you can see, this light is clearly passing the IPX8 waterproof standard with flying colors. I think they've done a good job on this light. Okay, right now I have a AA battery in this light. I am looking at moonlight mode. This is 1 lumen. This is going to last 80 hours or 3.33 days. So looking down at the ground, the camera does not really justify what this light's doing, but I can tell you that I can see fairly well. You know, if you had to look inside of a pack or look at a wound or something like that, or you want to put this on and read a book at night and you don't want to disrupt everybody that you're camping with, this is a fantastic setting for that. Now let's go ahead and bump it up to low. This is 50 lumens for 6 hours. That's a good setting, and you can see the light output and the way the lens, the pattern of the beam is fantastic. It's a very floody beam. So if I push and hold, we'll bump up to medium. This is probably my favorite setting, 150 lumens and 3 hours of runtime. That's fantastic. That's out of a AA battery. Crazy. Now if I push and hold, you'll see it goes a little bit brighter, 250 lumens for 1.5 hours. Personally, I think that medium is probably the best setting for me because you double your runtime and you get almost as much light. Now if I double press quickly, we're going to go to SOS. This is 150 lumens. You can see the blue power level indicator there telling me that my battery life is 90% or higher. So that is fantastic. This light puts out a lot of light for a AA battery. So again, let's single press. It goes back to what appears to be high. Push and hold. You got moonlight. There's low. Even low is a good setting. 50 lumens for 6 hours. That's a good setting for just walking around camp. Medium, once again. That's probably what I'll use the most of. And then high right there, slightly brighter. So I'm going to go ahead and change out this battery. We'll put the 14500 battery in, and we will take a look at some more night shots with that battery. And here we are with the 14500 battery. We are on moonlight mode. This is 1 lumen. It gives us 120 hours of runtime. That's 5 days. Now I can tell you, when I turned this light off and I switched from one battery to the other, it was in total darkness and it was very easy to do. The light has a good feel to it. You can feel where things are. You can feel the bump on the battery, the positive. You know you're putting it towards the head. It was not hard to do in the dark. So let me go ahead and bump it up to the next setting. Right now we're looking at 50 lumens. This is low. Again, I'm using a 14500 battery now. I'll get 7 hours of runtime out of this setting. That is fantastic. Let's bump it up to medium. This is 150 lumens for 3 hours. Very nice setting. And then we're going to go up to high. This is 400 lumens for 10 minutes. Then it drops down to 250 lumens to prevent that overheating. And it'll stay at 250 lumens for an additional 1.5 hours. Now double press gives us that SOS at 150 lumens, and I'm not quite sure what the runtime is on that. Single press takes us back to, I believe that's high. Hold it down, there's moonlight, low, medium, high, and let's go back to high right there, 73 meters of throw, 1338 on the candela. I'm really impressed with the amount of light using both batteries, the AA battery and the 14500. I'm impressed with the performance. I really like that medium setting of 150 lumens. There's moonlight, low, medium. I like this setting, and it's very funny because whether I'm on 14500 or AA, I get 3 hours of runtime, and it's 150 lumens. That is a fantastic setting. And again, if I turn the light off, let me get to that medium right there, If I turn the light off and turn it back on, it does remember the last mode that you were using, with the exception of SOS. So I bumped it up to high, so if I push, turn it off, and I push, it comes right back to high, or let's say low. If low is what I want all the time, just push, and it comes right back to that setting. I think this light is fantastic. Hope you enjoyed those night shots. Well, folks, my final thoughts are very simple. I'm impressed with this light. I love the size of it. It doesn't weigh that much. It's a very small light, very, very bright. I love the fact that it runs on the lithium ion 14500 battery. And I love the fact that in the event that that battery dies or something, I'm not able to charge it, I can slap in a AA battery, which you can find anywhere, and still have very good run times. I like the brightness level. I think the functionality is very easy. I like the way that the power level indicator lights up on the side. Again, it's blue, flashing blue, red, 5 seconds illumination on that, and then flashing red, it just flashes red. I like the weight of it. I think the price point is good. I want to say thank you to Wuben for reaching out and allowing me to review this headlamp. Now, they did tell me that they are coming out with a better mounting system for the light, so stay tuned for that. This is just a pre-release of this light here. I like the brightness level. I like the beam pattern. I just think that they've done a lot of good things with this light. The magnet is strong on the tail cap. With all that being said, folks, please make sure that you're checking the description box down below. I'll put a link to where you could find this light. Thank you for watching, and until next time, hope you have a beautiful day. We'll see you then. Bye for now.